Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Test Chamber. I am hosting this episode. I'm Tim Turry, and I am joined by Benjamin Reeves.
How's it going, Tim?
Oh, pretty good. How are you, Ben?
I'm great.
So, are you
I
great?
love this game.
Are you great because we're going to check out some Axiom Verge?
I'm great because I just finished this game and it's a lot of fun.
I mean, you're great.
Still riding the high.
You're great for a lot of other reasons.
I'm great.
But, so we're just going to jump right in and check out a little bit of the intro here. All right, so let's fire up a new game here and see how things start off. Probably go with normal for now.
Yeah, I did normal first time through and it was fun. There's actually still some challenging parts. So
I believe it.
It's, if you can't tell already, based on Metroid, like graphically, it's very Metroid-y.
Both set in New Mexico as well.
Also, yeah. Also a lot of skip cutscene.
Yeah, does that appear before every single cutscene?
Yeah. Every time you press a button, I think.
Weird.
It was a Metroid staple. But so this is just setting up the story.
Yeah.
You're a scientist named Trace.
Trace?
Trace.
Like the number or?
Trace like the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you're doing some sciencey things here. I actually don't even know. I don't know if this is spoilery. I think they talk a little bit about what he's doing. I don't want to go into it too much, so I'll just let you play the game for yourself.
Wait, hold on a second.
But
Trace, hold on. Trace the name?
Trace. Like, yeah, Trace is a name.
I have never met anyone named Trace. I'm sorry if you are listening to this and your name is Trace.
Isn't your brother named Trace?
Trace Turry. Oh, I guess. Okay, yeah. There's one.
Yeah.
But
I think I've heard people named Trace.
Keep talking about the game. This is talk about the developer, and you've actually talked extensively with the developer of Axiom Verge, right?
Right.
Yeah,
extensively. I had a phone interview with him and met him at a trade show, and he's a cool guy.
You're practically brothers.
Yeah, we did a blood brother thing where we pricked our fingers. Anyway, this game is developed just by that one guy. His name's Tom Happ. And so he did everything. He did the art, he did the music, he did all the programming, and it took him like 4 years to put it all together because games take a long time.
So you have like sort of like a Dust and Elysian tale type thing going on.
Yeah. He wrote the story. He named the character Trace. So he's the guy.
Okay.
Which is funny too because there were people who like would listen to the music and be like, "Hey, if you want, I can like do up some real music for you."
Real music?
Yeah, he was like, and actually,
that's pretty insulting.
The music in this game is really good, so I don't know what their problem was.
People wanted work, is what they wanted.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they wanted.
So very similar to Metroid, going to the left to get your first weapon. It almost seems like there's a Chozo kind of ruin thing going on here. I like this music.
Yeah, it's great. The soundtrack's actually available if you want to buy it separately. I do recommend checking it out. You can probably listen to it on YouTube or something. Or you can just buy the game.
It seems like it's not explicitly going for like an 8 or 16-bit thing. It's kind of got its own kind of synthy
vibe to it.
Well, and then there's some chiptune stuff.
I'm no music expert, but I liked it.
Okay, so it's got some chiptune stuff in it, but some modern electronic stuff going on. So we were talking about potentially, checking out the intro just to see how things start.
Sure. Yeah,
and then
go a little bit in if you want, just to show some monsters and stuff. This first area is very Metroid-y, as you can tell. It's got the like monsters that walk around walls.
Oh. And you can hold down the shoulder button to stand still and aim in different directions, which is super crucial for a game like this.
That's really helpful.
It was like I hated the thing I didn't like about Metroid, like the early ones, was just going like this all the time, and like having to like
because you would like keep moving.
Yes.
There was another game that let you hold a button down.
Contra.
Was it Contra? Okay.
Yeah, Contra.
Which I think actually was his other main inspiration.
Oh, and it shows. Like, and that's a really beautiful combination of gameplay styles. Like, the game design of Metroid with the gameplay of Contra is like,
right.
That's smart. Someone should make a game like that.
Yeah, no joke. Well, I'll tell you what the game I want. This is a little off topic, but something like Mark of the Ninja stealth game with Metroid. Like where it's stealth elements with a Metroid game. So
no wall jumping, I'm assuming, yet?
Yeah, I don't want to spoil whether or not you get that, but you do get quite a few power-ups that open up the world and allow you to navigate in new ways.
Okay.
So this is interesting. Like, you can't... How do I hit that? Because if I hit that red thing, the door will open, but you don't have the ability yet.
Okay.
So...
And just to be clear, for those watching, I am playing right now, and Ben is just talking about the game. And I wanted to just note that it feels really, really good so far. It feels exactly like you'd expect. It's really crisp, and I don't know. Does the platforming...
It's like a carrot. So
it's crisp. It's like crisp, like a wet freshly washed
wet
and peeled
carrot?
carrot.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, like baby carrots when you get them out of the bag. And they're
Carrots are
kinda
one of the
wet.
few things that remain crisp after they get wet.
Now, tell me about carrots in this game.
There's a lot of carrots that keep you playing. A lot of carrots on like a stick, you know?
Okay.
You want to get that next item.
Did you say that keep you playing?
Keep you playing the
I thought
game.
you said plane, like Plain.
Keep you on
Like,
the plane.
What does that mean? I guess carrots are sort of a plain vegetable, but
Hey, you know what? They're more than just plain to me. I like them.
so the
But back to the game.
yeah. Let's talk about the enemy design. They kind of got that weird, almost abstract design that Metroid enemies had, where it's like they're all kind of one color and hard to define. With like, I guess those are bees, which were in Metroid.
Well, and this is clearly some kind of like, it looks like an alien planet, like Metroid
Yeah.
element to it, but in all actuality, and this was in the intro, like this is Earth, like in the future.
Okay.
So, but then unraveling, like, okay, well, why is this planet look like that? Like that's kind of an interesting, like the story itself is sort of interesting.
Is it a little bit more upfront than the Metroid games?
Yeah, well, as you can see, like Trace can talk, so that's one
Right.
difference.
That makes sense.
And there's a few more story beats. You run into a couple of NPCs that talk to you and give you flesh out the story for you.
And you know, I want to make sure that we're like we keep on bringing up Metroid, and the inspiration is super obvious. But I just want to make sure that like we aren't shortchanging the game at all. Do you feel like it goes beyond what the Metroid games are loved for as far as design and story and stuff?
Oh
like
yeah,
Okay.
and I'll touch on that in a second. That area up there, see where everything's all, I don't know what you would call it, fuzzing out.
It looks like almost like there's like digital artifacts.
It looks like a glitch. You
Yeah.
actually get a gun later on that lets you like corrupt things.
Oh, that
like,
sounds awesome.
digitally. And so it kind of plays with this mechanic of like you hacking the game in a way, like while you're playing it.
That's
you know,
cool.
because you'd like play those old 8-bit games, and occasionally you'd like phase through a wall and end up in an area where you weren't supposed to be.
Okay.
Or like you'd put the cartridge in like slightly tilted, and like all the monster enemies would be kind of off. You
So
know
it's
what I
kind
mean?
of got like a nostalgia for older technology, like integrated into the gameplay
It
itself.
does that all that stuff intentionally at certain places. So it's a really cool like I don't know, love letter to the 8-bit era.
Well, yeah, and I mean, even like this music too. Like, what isn't a chiptune is reminding me of like 80s retro synth, which has come back with like Hotline Miami
Right.
and Blood Dragon and stuff like that.
Right. So this first area is the most Metroid-y like area, but then the further in you get, the monsters differentiate themselves quite a bit, and the areas look different.
Really? So do you think that they kind of made this area very Metroid as like kind of an anchor for fans to understand what they're going for?
Yeah.
Or- okay.
Oh, hey, look at this. First power up.
Okay. All right. Firing once launches a large projectile. Firing again causes it to detonate. So this is a remote mine type
Right.
thing. Okay.
Now, unlike Metroid, all the power-ups you get really are sort of like augmentations to your gun. So they're all just like different ways to like fire your weapon.
Okay.
So like this is, throws out a detonation thing and then explodes. And maybe this would be a good time to we'll jump ahead a little bit to see some stuff later on in the game.
Yeah. Let's jump ahead for sure. All right, so we've jumped ahead quite a bit here. We're not going to be kind of playing through the game in progression. We're just going to kind of do a tour of this later area.
Right.
But I wanted to note as I've been playing that I've been using the D-pad kind of instinctively on the. I got a new.
Yep. You just noticed one of the new upgrades you got.
Oh, crikey.
Ability
Okay.
to dash.
So we got a stronger weapon. It looks like here. And tell us about
These guys could decimate you too, by the way.
Really?
They're pretty
Okay.
rough. Use the right stick here.
Is that?
Oh, there you go. That's a corruption bomb that like, I wish I could remember the name of the thing, but it'll like we were just talking about how sometimes you would like see enemies would like be different colors and whatnot. That's what it did to them. So
Okay,
they're like
gotcha.
they move slower and they kind of like they're futzing out,
So it seems like we also have a omnidirectional
sort of dash thing.
dash. It looks like it's pretty much quad directional. So I'm going in
Yeah.
up, down, left, right.
And it has a couple other uses that I'll let you see if you can figure out or leave for the viewer.
Gotcha.
But one thing I wanted to show off was some of the different weapons, because we were talking about most of the upgrades come from the weapons.
Yeah.
So if you use the right stick, you can select. See, I mean, and there's more than this. I haven't even unlocked them all.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
What's a
so-
cool one we can play around with?
One I like, if you go bottom right, there's that green and purple one. Yeah,
Okay.
I like that one a lot. So it kind of just fires all over the place. Giant shotgun blast kind of thing.
Oh, I like this. It's got like an arcing electricity thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So did that just happen automatically as I entered this area?
Hit that guy. Oh. Oh boy.
Okay. Is this not the best weapon for this, maybe?
So they're kind of armored, so you got to hit them in the like soft spot.
Oh, I see. The little middle area?
Yeah.
How did you feel like the enemy design was overall? Did you feel like they all had a kind of a cool little element that set them all apart? Or did you feel like you're kind of mindlessly running and gunning a lot, or a mix of the two?
No, you definitely have to get used to enemies. I'd say it's challenging in the way that like an old 8-bit game is.
Yeah.
But it has some nice like modern conventions, like save points are pretty well spaced out, and even when you die, it saves all your progress, so you don't like lose anything.
Okay.
Like if you picked up an item and then you die, you keep it.
That's great.
So there's stuff like that that makes it a lot more forgiving in a sense, even though it still can be challenging in areas.
Yeah.
So yeah, some of these enemies take quite a few hits. If you want to try another weapon,
Yeah, maybe. I don't want to go through all of them just in case people want to discover some of them themselves. So maybe what do you think is one effective in this situation?
I would try the one on the very bottom.
This guy?
Hopefully that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you fire straight up.
And everything's unlimited ammo, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so that one wasn't the one I was thinking of, but... Oh, so this was another thing I was going to show you. If you hit triangle, you pop out a little drone.
Oh, cool.
And so you're shielded, so you can't be hit, but your drone, he's the little yellow bar at the top.
I'll get him. Come on.
You can go and attack things.
What a cute little guy.
And he's a great, like... You get this a little bit later on, but he's a great, like, scout for you, obviously. You can go, like, destroy enemies and go into other areas, even. You can go through doors.
Seems pretty strong, too. All right, I'll go back. And this is your main weapon. Does this upgrade throughout the game?
Yeah, you might even be able to tell it's actually quite a bit bigger.
Yeah, that stood out to me.
Pick up, like... Oh, this is a mini boss that
cool.
is optional, actually, that I haven't beaten.
It is. All right, I'm not promising anything.
You could try.
Here.
I want to. You're like more than halfway through your health, so.
Okay, yeah, so not looking great.
You can do it, Tim. Oh, good use of the dash.
Thank you. And is there invincibility frames within that dash itself?
You know, that's something I didn't explore. But there's a ton in this game that I also didn't explore, like new air. Like you can use this disruptor beam to open up new areas in the walls, and like, hidden areas, and like go pick up secrets and stuff.
So some of these, that leads me to the next question, which is like some of these kind of Metroid, Castlevania, Symphony of the Night inspired games. They do focus on exploration, but it's a very guided exploration. Like your next objective, like I think of Ori, for example, which I like Ori and the Blind Forest, but it's you always know where you need to go.
Right.
Does this lean in that direction, or is it more?
You like that bomb, huh?
It just does it automatically, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, just automatically. I would say no. It's actually the opposite of that, almost to a fault. And if you like that old school approach, then great, this is the game for you. There were definitely points where I got stuck and I didn't know where to go next. And it's like, well, here's an area of the map I haven't gone to yet. And you'd go and like, oh no, I don't have the power up for that yet.
Right.
So while it was fun that they weren't holding my hand, there were times where I was like, oh yeah, this is why games do hold your hand now, is because it can be kind of trying. I'll say it was still a lot of fun to figure out where you do need to go next.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it every step of the way.
And
you can just go past through tier if you don't want to fight them.
Gotcha. And the progression of the game, is there any like XP that you're collecting or anything, or is it all pretty much acquiring new weapons, kind of Metroid style?
Yeah, it's all Metroid style. You have pickups that power up your guns, which I think I mentioned.
Okay.
But other than that, there's no like experience or anything.
Okay, gotcha.
And you power up your drone a couple times.
Gain some extra health.
It's usually like an item you pick up.
Okay.
And that's it.
Gotcha. Well, cool. And
you want us to get past this guy?
I'm curious to see what the next room is. Yeah. You did mean that it was optional.
Yeah, you don't need to fight him.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, these guys are tough too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good thing too, if you're like always low on health, you can always like pop out your drone and have them fight him.
Oh, that's smart. Okay, so tell us about what this game's available on as far as systems go.
Right now it's on PS4. It's supposed to be coming to a few other consoles, I believe Vita and PC. Tom Happ hasn't, since he's a one-man show, he hasn't really talked about when that stuff's coming out.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll hear soon. He won a PlayStation contest, actually.
Oh.
Maybe a year or two ago, which actually helped fund the finishing the game. So that's why it came to PlayStation first.
Well, that's great. And do you is our review live as well?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Oh,
I'm so excited about this game. I can just get choked up about it.
I can feel your enthusiasm on my hand and face.
Yeah, Brian actually reviewed it, and it's out now. I think he gave it a 9.25.
Liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, he really liked it, which is fun because like this game coming just right on the heels of Ori and the Blind Forest, as you mentioned. Two awesome, great Metroid style games, and like in very different veins though. Like as you can see, like this is very reminiscent.
Different Vanias,
different Vanias. This one very reminiscent of the first Metroid, whereas oh look, maybe your drone could come in there. And Ori is very sort of like new approach. Like what if they still made these games today? Like what would a modern one look like? That was very platform heavy.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to get into this and explore a little bit more. And hopefully you'll fare better when you get to this part of the game than I do, since we were jumping ahead a little bit.
Throw your drone up there.
Oh, cool. All right.
And you can teleport to your drone by hitting triangle again.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Awesome. Well, any parting thoughts on the game at all, Ben?
I definitely recommend it. If you love Metroid, even if you don't love Metroid, I don't know, you might still like this game because it's awesome. It's an awesome game. If you've never played Metroid, this is your chance to like experience sort of the classic game in that vein.
Yeah.
So
and
I definitely recommend it.
In my short time with it, it does play really well, even though I'm getting my butt kicked a little bit.
Oh yeah, controls great. Visually, I mean, I love this style.
Yeah.
And then, as we've remarked, the music is great. So Tom Happ, very talented in a multitude of areas. So looking forward to what he's doing next.
Fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait to take a closer look. And if you want more on this, read Brian Vor's review on Axiom Verge. So thanks for watching another episode of Test Chamber, guys.
Thanks for coming.